So, I hinted a little while ago that my dad bought a new car, replacing the Cobalt. And I said in time we were going to be doing some services to it. I did not think it was going to be this soon, because something bad's going on. So welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Gorgeous night out here. It's like 65 degrees. It's getting late though, so there's not really a whole lot we're going to do tonight with it. I do want to get the process started. Yeah, so this is my dad's car now. It's a 2014 Chevrolet Cruze. It's the base model. I think they call that an LS. It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty nice car. We'll take a quick look at it, but the reason why it's here is not so nice. Far from nice, actually. Something bad is happening. So it's a 2014 Chevy Cruze. Gorgeous red color. My dad bought it. I forget how long it's been now. 2 months? I don't remember, but yeah, he wanted me to. We were gonna do brakes on it, but we're not doing that today. That's something that he had mentioned to me when, he got it. Was he wanted to have brakes done to it. He bought it off of a private seller who was the original owner and kept all service records, all service receipts. So yeah, for the most part, it's actually a very well maintained example of this car, and they're nice. The Cruze is actually the very first Mike's Vehicle Spotlight feature back in 2011. They were built right here in our backyard, in the what used to be the Lordstown GM plant. So not far from here. Get a quick look at the inside. Inside is clean. I mean, it's really nice. It has been, well taken care of. So this is the I think third time I'm seeing this car. But power mirrors, power door locks. Yeah, power mirrors, power door locks, power windows. It's also similar to the one that my father-in-law had at one time, only his was a 2011. So it's a Cruze without cruise. That's funny, isn't it? Hey, so this thing has over 100,000 miles on it. 112,816 to be exact. It starts. It runs like a champ. It runs really good. So yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's got the base display. Still has a CD player. It's got working air conditioning. It's got the Manumatic. So yeah, it's a really nice car. And unfortunately, hopefully it's not going to be a handful of issues, but there is something pretty large going under the hood right now. I need to get a new camera battery. This battery of mine is not holding a charge like it used to. It's got the 1.8 liter Ecotec. So in the service records, it's been mentioned that valve cover gasket was done. Still looks like it's got a little bit of seepy going on now. So, not too concerned about that. I don't know how long ago it was done. I think something with the actual timing belt or chain. I don't know which one this has. I think this has a chain, but I think it had timing work done to it. So yeah, don't know if this is the original valve cover or not. I know these have a PCV issue because the PCV valve, or the entire PCV system is built into the valve cover, and that's something that is known to fail. We need a little bit of coolant. It looks like it's not empty, but it's getting a little low. No, actually, I gotta stop and laugh. You guys remember the vlog from a long time ago where I had one of these caps break off? Here's where the oil filter is located on this engine. Now, as you see, it's got a plastic cap. They all have that. This is a brand new plastic cap because for the first time in all of the years that I've ever done oil changes on an Ecotec engine, the cap completely broke. The hex completely broke off of the cap, and I had always kind of wondered what was going to happen the day that that happens to me. It was a nightmare. So every time I happen to see one of these engines in particular, even at work, I have to deal with these at work too, and I get to that cap, I'm like, oh my god. But knock on wood, right? So anyway, that could be part of our problem, is what I'm thinking. But you guys see all the oil down there? Yeah. So initially, was kind of wondering if this oil filter wasn't on right, or if it's not, seated right or something. Because my dad thought maybe, he started seeing drips of oil on the ground in the driveway, and it wasn't leaking oil. When he looked at the car, when he bought the car, there was no sign, of there being oil. This just started taking place, like what, 2 weeks ago maybe. My dad called me and said that he's starting to notice little drips in the driveway. So, from what he can see, he thought it was coming from the oil filter cap. So nonetheless, we are going to do an oil change on this. I'm not doing it tonight because, like I said, it's going to be getting dark soon. Beautiful night for it, though. The car is going to be here for like a day or two because they still have the Grand Prix. So he's going to drive the Grand Prix until we can get a little bit of, a little bit of information on what's going on here. Because this here is only part of the story. It is not the entire story, but we're doing an oil change, and we're going to be trying to do some investigating. So for the rest of this, we need to go downstairs, get the ramps, and we need to put this thing on the ramps, and we're going to have a quick look under this car. Probably should have moved the car back a little further to give me more space in the driveway, but that's okay. Oh, look at all this oil. Oh boy. And look, just sitting back there before I put on the ramp, it's dripping. It's at the point now where it is just running. It's running off of everything. So yeah, I did a little bit of research. Come to find out that the these engines have a lot of places where oil can leak from, unfortunately. That oil filter housing is right there. Now, I know this is awful lighting and I apologize, but right there is the cap, the side of the cap. And you can see here, that's part of the actual housing. It does look greasy. It does look greasy. Like I said, I'm sorry for the lighting and the dust. It looks greasy, but a bulk of the wetness is a little bit past that. I'm kind of wondering. Oh man. Oh my gosh. There's just so much oil. Pretty sure that's not the original drain plug, because I don't think these came with crush washers. So that's interesting. Jeez. So anyway, yeah, this there could be a few different spots that, you know, we're leaking oil from. But my dad called me tonight, said that he took a trip out to the Walmart, and he called me from Walmart and said that he smells oil burning. And he moved the car and it left, you know, some large puddles. So he told me, you know, he can, we're gonna keep the car for the night. We'll do stuff with it tomorrow also. He's in no immediate hurry to get it back. So once this cools down some, because this is still piping hot obviously, we're going to attempt to degrease all of this oil off. We're going to take, we bought some Purple Power, and we're going to put it in a pressurized, you know, tank, and we're going to try to get up in here and hose all this stuff off with the Purple Power. Do a little bit of it on the top also, and then we're going to get the hose and try to hose it all down, and then you know, we're going to do an oil change, obviously. He wants the oil changed. There's a fresh drip right there. 2 fresh drips. And, you know, so we're going to do oil change. And the big concern with that is, you know, getting a new filter, making sure the O-ring's correct, making sure there's no damage with that cap. I have to buy a socket for home for this size. I don't have a 24mm socket here. So I have one at work, but obviously I was not planning on doing any of this tonight. I might end up bringing my 24 home from work tomorrow, now that I know that this is here. So yeah, I feel really bad. There was no sign of this. Now I don't know if, you know, if they did the valve cover gasket, if this is old, but there's still a lot of it that, you know, obviously run in here that's completely, you know, fresh. And if it's not the oil pan leaking, not 100% ruling that one out, but I wonder if the oil filter housing gasket is leaking. That could also be a possibility. We won't know. So the goal is, you know, we're gonna hose all this stuff off. Hopefully we'll be able to get enough of it off, and then, you know, we'll get some clean oil in it. We may not find out right away, obviously, if you know, we found the leak or not, but in time it's something that I can check up on maybe after a few days or so, and then we'll go from there. I don't have anything outside. I don't know if I want to try to take these off to get to this cover. We might have to anyway, if I really want to hose this down, so we might be doing that. But I mean, look at it. I think that's the AC compressor, or the side of it. I'm not sure, I can't tell. There's oil everywhere on the underside of this engine. It's amazing. My dad is really hoping he didn't get screwed over. But it's amazing too, because you know, the car, like I said, there was evidence in the glove box of it being kept up. So that's why it's just kind of bizarre. And obviously you don't see any of that from the top. with the exception of what you can see down next to the filter cap. But I mean, I took a look around before I brought it here. I mean, like I said, very small seepage around this valve cover gasket, but nothing crazy. Nothing that's gonna run down like that and drip everywhere. So, a little bit of investigating to do. So like I said, I'm gonna let this sit for a little while, and hopefully it'll cool off before it gets real dark. And if I don't do it tonight, we'll do it tomorrow. Oh, and just like that, we're in the Grand Am because it's getting a little bit late. The car is still warm, and I am hungry. It's after 7 o'clock now, so that car is just gonna sit there for the night. And that way tomorrow when I get home from work, we'll know that, you know, it's fully cool. I did take it off the ramps because I don't want to leave things on plastic ramps for a long time, if I'm not there especially. So it's off the ramps, but when I get home from work tomorrow, I'll know that the engine's nice and cold. I'll start it up real quick, get the ramps underneath it again, shut it off, and then, you know, give it, you know, so long for the, you know, exhaust to cool. I'm sure it won't be all that hot, but yeah, that way you know, we'll start fresh, and we'll get the oil and stuff changed also while we're under there. So until tomorrow. All right, and just like that, it's about 24 hours later actually. It's about the same time as it was last night now that the day is done. It's 6:15. So the game plan now, we're gonna go outside. I'm gonna get the car back on the ramps. We're gonna degrease it, try to get it, you know, as cleaned up as best we can. Then I'm gonna take the car. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna go get the oil stuff. I'm gonna do the oil change tomorrow, but we'll drive it, get the oil circulating, and see if you know, if it's too dark, we won't be able to do it tonight. But tomorrow, I want to see if we can actually, if we have any running oil anywhere, you know. So that's what we're gonna do now. Let's go do this. All right. So I had the car parked up here, up the wheel against this piece of wood here, and that's the spot that it left just sitting here last night. So just getting it on the ramp. The exhaust got a little warm, but obviously it didn't run long enough, so I'll give it a few more minutes. Let me go fill the purple power container up. I'm gonna see what size sockets we're gonna need, and I might try to get that shield off also, so I can really spray cover as much as I can while we're under there. Alright, so these guys here look like they're 7s. If they don't budge, I'm not gonna force them. Looks like there might have been one of these push pins here, but it's gone already. And the shield, there's another push pin there. Can't get around the corner. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's one there. There's a 7 there. I'm sure there's stuff back there. Even if I can kind of get this to hang down, you know, but something tells me this thing ain't gonna come off anyway, so what difference does it make? Oh man, it's turning. Will this one turn? Oh, it did. It's already dripping oil, just sitting here. It just dripped. Yeah, it's got some oil on it. That helps. The front one here. Can't believe how easy these came out. They look awful. So there's 2. This one right here. And they're all in one piece. That's amazing. Let's see if I can bring it. So here's the side I wanted to see yesterday. Sheesh. There's our drips right there. Oh my gosh. Alright. Alright. Read the label. Didn't see anything on the label about Purple Power being flammable. So but this is, I mean, the shield, I can put my hand on it so it's not that hot back there. So I am going to start over in this area with the spraying of the Purple Power, and might try to run along just the bottom here. I honestly have a feeling we're going to be changing the gaskets for the oil cooler, which is attached to this assembly here. That's a very common thing. I kind of had a feeling that that might be where this is headed. It's a good chance that's probably what it is. Not ruling out the oil pan, obviously, but we'll see where this ends up taking us. But if I'm not doing them now, I'm probably going to be doing them down the road. Oh, you can just see all the oil running off onto the ground. So that stuff's really caked on there. Of course, it's all running toward me. Oh no! That was close. Alright, so we used up the whole bottle of the Purple Power. That's a lot. But hey, look at how much better it looks. So I did a few passes. I sprayed it heavy, then I let it sit for a few minutes, then I hosed it off, then I resprayed it. So I'll try not to get the camera all drippy. It's not perfect, but hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to figure out where the leak's coming from. Whew. Alright, now I gotta hose out the driveway. Got all the salt that actually ended up coming out, all the winter salt. On the plus side, you know, from what I could see, at least up here anyway, the structural integrity of the car really isn't that bad. Not a whole lot of rust. Whew. Let's go ahead and start it real quick. Let it run and dry and smoke and do whatever it's got to do. Alright, we're going to go take it out now. We're going to try to get to the parts store, buy the oil and stuff for tomorrow, and then we'll park it, I guess, because it'll probably be a little bit darker when we get home. Alright, so this is my first time driving this because he drove it here and I took him home. So I do not know what to fully expect from this car. So on we go. Alright, feels like it handles pretty well. The brakes definitely have a pulsation, so I can see why he wants me to do the brakes at some point in the near future. I think this has a 6-speed automatic, if I'm not mistaken, and it definitely, I know he mentioned to me he thought maybe there was a transmission concern. I hope not, but you can tell it's got 6 speeds because it goes from 1 to 2 pretty quick. I know that's something that my dad's not used to, but it feels like it's driving pretty decent. It might need an alignment or tires going low, but it does kind of want to keep veering to the right pretty quickly. It's not really fighting me, but as soon as I let go of the wheel, oh my gosh, these brakes, holy crap. So I don't know, I mean, for what it is, the mileage and stuff, it is for the most part driving pretty decently. Oh, what a nice sky. So I guess one good thing to note so far, you know, the car's been on for quite a while. It's at operating temperature. I got the window down. I've got air coming in through the front here. I don't smell oil burning yet. So that's good. I'm sure just about by now, whatever leftover water under the hood's probably just about gone. Oh, these brakes, you can hear them. You can hear the you can kind of hear the boom 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 boom. Spoke too soon. I just got a red light there a little bit ago, and I got the smell of burning oil. I really think it's that oil filter gasket. The cooler, the whole oil filter assembly in the cooler. I have a feeling that's the culprit. Now that we're driving the car, obviously we have oil pressure going through the whole housing, and the cooler, it might be spewing, not necessarily spewing, but it probably is leaking a pretty fair amount of oil for what the issue is. So I'm going to say if the entire front of the crank is saturated in oil again, then that's got to be it. That's got to be the culprit. All right, so we're almost home now. There's probably no way we're going to be able to see under the car tonight. Maybe I'll try to get my phone, turn the flashlight on, maybe try to get a few pictures, maybe see if there might be anything fresh. Well, we'll just wait till tomorrow if need be. It's not that big a deal. I did get a price on brakes because this is bad. This is almost as bad as the Grand Prix, in my opinion. The Grand Prix had some pretty rough rotors. This thing also feels like it has some rough rotors. So, I don't know. We might be doing brakes sooner than I imagine now that I got him a price on that. Other than that, I really do like driving this car. This one's not bad. It's a nice car. It drives really well. It's fun. Never really thought I'd say that. I think I liked my father-in-law's too, and my aunt had a 2017 that I actually did a MVS feature on. It was a lease, so she only had it for 2 years. But I think I prefer this generation Cruze to the last one, as far as the way that it drives and handles. Yeah, I think I like this one better. Alright guys, so here we are next morning. And so this is what we have. So we can see it was running down from there. That'd be something if it was like the drain tube, or the not drain tube, the oil tube. It could kind of ran down there in the pan. I've seen some here on the exhaust. Oh, it's so difficult to see. I might need to go try to find a flashlight. Alright, we're in phone mode now, because the phone has a flashlight. So, oh, right, okay, so, we got that corner. Again, that's right around the dipstick tube area. That's where, looks like it's running down that way. This is a tough one. See, it's wet all up there. It's wet beyond the oil pan gasket. I don't know if you can see up there. I'll try to get my phone. So this is exhaust. It's wet there. Oh, I know this is tricky. I'm sorry. Like right there, that's part of the oil filter housing right there. Where that big glob is. So, I don't know. I feel like it's wet beyond the oil pan gasket. Because the gasket surface is right there. You can kind of see the difference. It is wet. Oop. It is wet all above that. That oil cooler is right back there. It's really hard to see. I don't think this is a two-piece pan. I think up here, I think that's the block. And then the pan, obviously, of different color. It is still wet above that. I really wish I could see further up there. It still looks wet up there. This is right behind the exhaust manifold. It could be a combination of both for all I know, but this side of the gasket here, the oil pan, so it looks wet, but I really think it's because of the runoff from this brace up here. This brace is below that cooler. And over here, I mean, we already kind of stuck the phone up where the oil cooler or the oil filter is. So oil filter housing there. And we can see it's still really wet there. And I think that is the part that might be running onto this exhaust and burning it. Alright, so we're doing something different. So I got it running, and I just kind of want to see if we, see anything running off from here. So at this point, with the car on the ramps, there shouldn't be, any oil really up against this side of the crankcase, or at least near the seal. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Huh. I honestly do not think that the pan gasket would do this. The only way that I can picture this leaking the way that it is, with it running now, that has to be from that oil filter assembly. We've got oil pressure running through it. That's got to be where that's coming from. Gotta try not to burn myself now. I bet all that leaking is on this bracket. That bracket, again, is right, there it goes, it just dripped. That bracket is right underneath the oil cooler assembly. And I bet it's just running off the sides and seeping around it, and that's probably what this is. Gotta be. I really don't think the oil pan is leaking like this. And you guys, it didn't do anything until we just started it. I really wish I could see more. So there it goes. It's just dripping now. Gotta shut off. Dang, that's, wow. I really think it's that cooler. I mean, that's for some reason, that's what my gut's telling me. The rest of this side of the pan over here is still dry, or, you know, at least not seeping. That's the part directly above the bracket. Over time, obviously, the end of the bracket is right alongside there and here, because we can see how oil is running onto this part of the exhaust over here and up in here. Doesn't seem to be dripping as bad, but I'm sure if the car was level on the ground, maybe the oil's making its way to the end of that bracket right alongside the exhaust here, and that's probably when it starts coming down this way. But since the car's up on the ramps and now it's got nowhere to go, it's just pooling up there until it reaches the side of that bracket probably, and this is the place for it to run down. Jeez. I want to do this job. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of interested in doing this one. This has me a little worried. I don't have anything here because I know you have to take this catalytic converter off. You got to take the exhaust manifold off at the top, and as it comes off as you can get to come off as one unit. I don't like those bolts there. I have a feeling something bad is going to happen with me and those bolts. I want to do this job though. The rest of it's not that hard, but I might have to decline that because I don't like how that looks. I don't have the proper equipment here to manage that. Those are barely bolts anymore. Alright, oil change time. First things first, let's get this filter off of here. Brought home the 24mm socket for the housing. We're going to need two hands for this because I don't want to break this one. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Now granted, the last time that we did one of these particular engines here at home, it was freezing cold outside, and I think that had something to do with why it broke. But nonetheless, you just kind of get those awful flashbacks. Now it's probably going to run. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to do it really slow, so that way anything in this filter housing will drain back, you know, into the engine. So it's loose. We can pull it out now, but I'm not going to pull it out yet. So I'll let it sit there just like that for the time being. Now I'm too lazy to empty out the drain basin from the last oil change that I did, so we're going to try to make a mess in another way, and that's by trying to catch it into a jug directly. I don't know what size drain plug they put on here. 16. That's weird. Now we did go to the Chevy dealer. We did buy the OEM plug. I know why this was changed, I bet, because this is the plug that has the little, I think it's a 10mm head on it. These get stripped out really easy, so I bet that's why this is on here. We obviously won't throw it away. We'll hold on to it, but there's a crush washer here. I'm pretty sure that's a crush washer. I'd be surprised if it's not. It looks like a crush washer. So I'm not too thrilled about that, because I don't have anything here to, you know, replace it with. Let's see how well we can do this. Yeah, that's a crush washer. That worked. Alright. It's filling up fast. Yeah. It's not like there's not already a mess here in the driveway anyway. What difference does it make? Always at the end is when the biggest mess occurs, apparently. Because from this angle, you can't tell exactly where that's going. But apparently, it was not lined up perfectly. We have a diaper. I found this in the basement. I think my father-in-law bought me a pack of these for Christmas one year, and I forgot all about them. Tidy Cat. Not a sponsor. Just coincidental. Alright, so that's just about done. So we're going to take our new bolt. And for the second time in these videos, you're going to see me use a torque wrench on this. So this is what the OEM bolt looks like, 10mm. It's a very, well, stupid design. I can understand why, you know, these end up getting replaced. I'll have to fish that one out of there with a magnet. But we'll hold on to that one just in case. So yeah. On the drain pan, I think it says, is it 14 Newton meters? But I also found 10 foot-pounds, so according to the torque wrench, it looks like it translates over. So, here we go. Okay, and now we'll use the torque wrench and do Right there, that's 10. There's really no point in trying to clean any of this stuff up off of here because it's going to probably end up coming back out. Alright, so this was still loose. We should be able to pull this out now, and there really shouldn't be anything running off of it. And nope. Oh, nightmares. Nightmares of that thing. Yeah, that thing also broke in the video that where the this came apart. So to answer my dad's question, I mean, the gasket does look like it was correctly put on. The filter cap was pretty tight when we tried to get it off, so yeah, this, unfortunately, in this case of this oil leak, doesn't seem to be the problem. Let's put our new filter on. Okay, now as I've stressed also in every video that we've done, you've got a cartridge oil filter. The O-ring, as we just looked at, is very important. Always replace it with the new one. Make sure it goes into the proper groove, not the threads, like such. Nice new filter here. Oh wait, this one goes in like this. There we go, clicked in. And down it goes. Okay, now that it's spun on by hand and the feels like the seal is up against the housing, we can torque it on the rest of the way. It stops. So from there, just one little, that's it. That is all. Alright. Now for this task, because these oil filter caps are dumb on this whole freaking design's kind of dumb. Come on out. It won't turn any further. Oh, this is interesting. Wow, yeah, this cap is bound up pretty good. Alright, there we go, jeez. Well, alright then. So, actually, put that there. I brought home the spill-proof funnel again with the appropriate GM adapter specifically for this engine. There we go. Alright, let's get to filling it up. Today we are putting in Valvoline Full Synthetic Advanced, because it was on special. This is a 530 engine, Dexos. And yes, this is the, it's Dexos approved. I don't know if you can see that down there on the label. Not sponsoring. Does have the nice easy pour spout though, and pull away tab. So 4.25 quarts. Probably right about here is where we want to be. But it's all, going to leak out little by little anyway. Alright, so let's take this, get off our adapter, throw this cap back on. It does not feel right. I think it's all gunked up or something. Yeah, there it goes. That's how it's supposed to go. Alright, start it up. Alright, so now level ground. Huh. Interesting. Wow, so according to this, it is at the very last spot on the dipstick, which is very strange because we poured in just a little over 4 quarts. Yeah, so let's add some more. Alright, my camera ran out of memory while it was sitting here recording. Alright, so I had it running just now. We shut it off. Double check our findings here. It's getting warm. Whew. It is completely full at this point. So that's weird. It took a lot more this time. We're good. We're good now. So I've got this extremely large funnel here, and it's got a strainer in it. Never used it. I bought it a while ago because I thought it was actually hilarious. So we're going to pour that into here, and then that way I can retrieve that drain plug just in case we need it for future use. There we have it. It's gonna fall through the strainer. Alright. That's it. We're done. We're not doing anything else with this one today. Incredibly long video. But yeah, so, you know, I did call him, told him I'm pretty certain, 99% certain, that oil leak is coming from that cooler assembly gasket. And at the moment, nothing appears to have dripped anywhere, at least from what I can see. So that is it. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna do this job, only because of the fact of the exhaust bolts. I don't want to end up getting stuck in a situation where, you know, this car is not going anywhere here at the house, you know. So it's probably going to go somewhere else for that one, unfortunately. But that's it. So I got to start getting ready for the rest of the day. I got other things that we got to do. Get this thing back to my dad, and he's going to look into getting this done as soon as possible. So, oh wait, we're not done. We're not done. We forgot to reset the oil life. For those of you who don't know how to do that. Ignition on. There's a button here. It says menu. First we have to hit the button on the side here. It says clear or cancel. Yeah, clear. So you hit that. We hit menu. Got battery voltage. Then you scroll. Use the little thing here to scroll. See, like that. It had 93% oil life. We just changed it for peace of mind. So then you hit the set button on the side. It says you want to reset. Scroll up to yes. Hit it again. It resets it to 100. And then you hit menu again to go back to your other screen. What did the tire pressure say? 32, 34, 34, and 35. 35 is the actual pressure rating on the door. That front tire's a little low. Not extremely low, but whatever. Alright, so that's it. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, you guys know what to do. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. I'll give you guys an update on this also when I find out what's going on with it. In the meantime, take care.